The silence of the routine was shattered by the shrill, persistent call to duty. The elite members of the Red Blood Eagles Brigade, including a young recruit named Davy Holmes, were thrust into a sudden and perilous mission, their training pushed to the brink as chaos reigned within the barracks. As the vehicles roared toward King's Lansing, the gravity of the destination began to sink in. They were headed for the Dome of the Fierce, a legendary, nightmarish territory that even the veterans feared to tread. Built long before the great walls of Baymard, the Dome of the Fierce stood as an ancient cage for nature's deadliest aberrations. It was a place where giant creatures roamed, shielded from the world by fortifications that defied human scale. Commanding the operation personally, Landon Barn stood before his Special Forces units, emphasizing that this was not merely a drill. The stakes were high, lives were on the line, and the true dangers hidden within the dome were about to reveal their teeth. The veterans made one thing crystal clear: the airspace was a death trap. Any attempt to parachute in would be met by aerial swarms of beasts, turning the mission into a slaughter before they could even hit the ground. They entered the dome by road, passing through a labyrinth of 13 massive metal gates. Security was absolute, and even the smallest oversight could spell disaster as they delved deeper into the belly of the beast. Vigilance saved them from an unexpected threat. A stowaway spy, attempting to document the secrets of the dome, was caught and neutralized within minutes. The lesson was clear: protocol was a matter of life and death. With the spy dealt with, the order was given to proceed on foot. The true penetration of the Dome of the Fierce had begun, and every step now carried the weight of impending combat. The mechanical gates groaned open, revealing a world of ancient mist and prehistoric lethality. They were no longer soldiers of a city. They were prey walking into the heart of a predator's territory. Their mission was to rescue captured children from the Gratchin vultures, monstrous birds that had retreated to this dome for a safe place to feed. Why the birds would choose such a dangerous habitat remained a chilling mystery. Suddenly, the air froze. Hidden among the trees, the dreaded yellow-horned hangals watched. These were not the common beasts they knew. These were massive, demonic predators twice the size of anything documented, led by a king that exuded pure malice. The clash began with a roar. Soldiers formed defensive triads, their specialized shields and pepper spray weapons struggling against the brute force of the Hangal pack. It was a brutal test of discipline versus primeval savagery. Davy found himself pinned by a Hangal, the predator's razor-sharp fangs inches from his throat. The raw bite force threatened to crush him, but his training and his electrified shield gave him a fighting chance. While the pack fell, the Hangal king met the gaze of a true titan. Landon needed no words to assert dominance. The beast sensed the lethal power within him, and shivering, ordered the retreat of its surviving kin. Far from the forest, a different kind of war was brewing. In the Yadin Empire, the ambitious Damon Mac Lane donned his armor, fueled by the promises of the taupe, ready to topple the ruling family and seize the crown. Behind the curtain, the Duke Trigun watched with twisted pride. His life's work, a web of conspiracies and dark alliances, was coming to fruition. Tonight, Sirius would fall, and his son would rise as the new monarch. Unaware of the treachery, King Sirius was conducting inspections at the Yo-Mac port. As the Empire prepared for the arrival of new transport technologies, the king's dedication to his people's progress was evident in every detail. The overseer, Blarfengarf, guided the king through the redesigned estate, showcasing the massive increase in import capacity. It was a triumph of planning and industry, a testament to a growing, thriving Yadin. But in the blink of an eye, the celebration turned into a battlefield. An enemy strike force descended from the warehouse shadows. Sirius, prioritizing his people, realized he was the primary target and ordered a desperate defense. Caught in the dark, cavernous warehouse, Sirius was separated from his men. The assassins were swift and deadly, moving like ghosts across the shipping containers, closing in for the kill. Just as death seemed inevitable, a familiar warrior emerged. The mysterious bodyguard, an agent of Landon, turned the tide in an instant. With blinding precision, he redirected the assassins' attacks back upon them, protecting the king. It was a masterclass of martial arts. The bodyguard moved with an intensity that terrified the taupe killers, making short work of their ranks and forcing the enemy leaders to retreat in sheer confusion and disbelief. Once the area was secure, the savior vanished as quickly as he had arrived. Sirius watched the fading silhouette with an unshakable bond of trust, knowing that no matter the darkness, his brother Landon would always be there. Back at the dome, the mission reached its triumphant conclusion. The children were safe, their parents' tears turning to smiles of pure gratitude, and the threat of the Gratchin vultures was finally eradicated. With the crisis over, the world turned its eyes back to the skies. The news of the upcoming flight ticket sales had set Baymard ablaze with anticipation, turning ordinary citizens into a surging, eager crowd overnight. As the first tickets were secured, the people dreamed of flight. A new era was dawning, and for those who had endured so much, home felt closer than it ever had before.